At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jah.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics.
My name is Abena Johnson, and this is Focus on Liberia. Hit it!
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jerome Gamer, and you are on point. We are coming to you live from the beautiful city of Fort Pierce, Florida. With me are some great minds that will be discussing the current events in Liberia. We are going to do what we call the week in review, what has transpired from last Monday to yesterday. We are going to go through the headlines, and we are also going to read what is on your mind as we traverse the universe called Liberia. Liberia is a country that keeps giving news upon news upon news. It looks like every day something new happens. But we are determined to not let this drug thing go without holding our leaders' feet to the fire. We are going to do so. We are not going to be partisan when it comes to the drug issue, but there are other things that are happening in the Republic of Liberia. Before I introduce our panelists, we'll be talking about Boycott Defense Ministry, NSA, what's happening there, why the LDEA boss have been suspended without being charged and prosecuted at this point. We will look at the law that we know he violated. The law is very clear. Government officials should not accept bribe. The gentleman said he received a pickup truck that is almost $40,000. That is a crime, and he should be persecuted. Why he's not being persecuted and being suspended? And then we're going to talk about the famous Prophet Key. Prophet Key is out. Prophet Key left prison and met with the press. And he considered himself Joseph the dreamer in the Bible. He said when Joseph came from prison, he became leader. In fact, he met with pharaohs, kings, and princes. He said, look at me. I am out of jail, and I'm sitting here with the vice president of the Republic of Liberia. I am like Prince. I am like Joseph the dreamer. I am meeting the leaders and stakeholders. We discuss. Let me go to my far right, across the pond, first in, first out. Dr. Fidel Booty, welcome to the show.
Yeah, Mr. Gamer, it's great to be here, as always.
Your voice is a little low, but hopefully you can. Let me go to Tower. Tower, you were the last one. I'll bring you in next. You're looking cool from Sunset Beach in Grand Bassa County. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, yeah, thanks. Hi, gentlemen, and hi to our viewers. I'm glad to be here and to be part of the discussion.
And the ultimate consummate politician, we are talking about under the legislature now, CMC Liberia, J. Victor Namwe. Welcome to the show.
Happy Sunday to you. It's going to be with you, Jerome, and Dr. Booty, as well as Mr. Tower, and also our friends in TV Radio Land or social media land. Thanks for joining us. Share the show.
Guys, share the show, get involved. Let us know where you're tuning in from. If it's a special day in your life, your anniversary, birthdays, special day, let us know so we can send a shout out to your loved ones and to anyone that you wish to send a shout out to. For me, I want to send a shout out to all my friends and family in Barobo Land, Maryland County, way behind Goldback. If y'all can hear me, I say welcome to all my folks. Plebo, Barobo. Where is Barobo anyway? Is
So,
anybody here? Where Barobo?
We are snug right between River G. We're the bottom part of Maryland County at Button River G. So you come from River G, Barobo, you don't necessarily have to go through Barobo, but we're somewhere in the middle.
Someone now, you were just at the bottom. Now you're in the middle again. You told me you were just at the
no,
bottom.
I meant the middle of the two counties. The middle of the two counties. We're between the two counties, so middle may not be right.
I don't blame Mr. Nangbe because a lot of things are getting stolen in Liberia these days. We don't even know where Barobo is still where it used to be. Yeah. So,
Dr. Booty, you are the man from every county. Some people say from the southeast, some people say from Nimba. Sometimes people find you in Buchanan, they find you, but where are you from and who are you?
I've never been found in Buchanan. All right, so let's
You never went to Buchanan.
I've never been found in Buchanan. I've been to Buchanan, but I'm not
so somebody saw you there. There you go.
I've got no connection in terms of family line to Buchanan. My granddad and grandmom are from three of my grandparents are from Sino County, and then one from Nimba. So, but we settled in Nimba County, and we call it our adopted home. So, yeah, it's So I'm all over, but I'm a Liberian, yeah. But I would love to visit Barobo one day, Mr. Nangbe. When I think my next trip to Liberia, I will consider going to Barobo, and I'll reach out to you for some guidance. Some of the things I need to do whilst I'm out there.
Absolutely.
It sounds like an interesting place. Engaging with you. If it produces people like you, then yeah. Obviously, Mr. Gaming from Grand Bazaar, so that's why I don't want to go there. But if it produces people like you, then definitely I want to go and see the land.
I can assure you, you're not looking at the best from Barobo. I'm not even anywhere close. There are guys way better than I am. Barobo is a super nice place to be. You are very hospitable people. We got some of the smart guys and more. Tia Nambo is my little cousin. He's probably the smartest man in the whole family. So you probably met him from the Ministry of Internal Affairs. His brother was smarter than him, Bato. Bato taught at TC. Anybody who went to TC in the 80s, he graduated there and taught there as well. But, his ashes, rest in peace. But thank you for the compliment, Dr. Budi.
I tried to go to Barobo.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you see Victor
we don't want you there, we don't want you there.
Victor Nangbe say he's not the smartest man. There are a lot of smart people from Barobo. Just like the folk will say, the time I can fight, but only in 4 years.
I tried to go to the southeast.
Mr. Tower, welcome.
I didn't make it there because we did not build the coastal road with the rest stops, and the folk were still along the way. So I couldn't go.
And now to come as a tower of Barobo is one of those places that doesn't even have a car road. Well, they tried something there, but that road, because of lack of maintenance, it is closed. When you go into Barobo, you have to make it right to go through. You come from Kawi, but there's no car road. Austin Taylor, the current representative, is trying now, but Musa has indicated ability. He's going to assign some of the yellow machines over there when they come in. So that's one of the things we're looking forward to. But sorry, Mr. Tawo, back to you.
No. That's good. I was just saying I didn't go because when Opon promised coastal road with rest stops and stadium on the road, I said, man, I got to go. I waited for 6 years. It didn't happen. I couldn't go.
Don't worry, Mr. Tao. Once the CMC yellow machines come and clear the road, you myself take a trip there
Yeah,
and we'll talk
Okay,
more.
but guess what? One of the yellow machines just fell down. The other,
Not 1 hour.
I don't know if
That
it
one,
flipped.
that one of the rescue machine. Not 1 hour.
Mr. Taiwo, welcome to the show.
Look, Mr. Tupa.
Oh, Mr. Tukba, welcome. Tukba, where are you from?
Well, thank you very much, and good afternoon to everyone.
You
And,
are very low.
so thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me now? Am I loud
Yes,
now?
yes.
Okay. Before I begin with, let me say a happy belated anniversary to the progressive Mr. J. Fita Nangwe on his 34th anniversary yesterday. And
Thank you very much, my brother.
For making marriage look simple and enjoyable for everyone of us who have fear factor to this institution.
We need to ban Mr. Nangwe from the show.
What,
We gotta make
what,
him all look bad.
Breaking
Yeah,
news.
34 years.
Hey.
Why you won't be married? I kind of
I have been married older than Dr. Booty. I can tell you that.
Yeah, Victor.
No, I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so, but that's a long
Victor
time.
Namwe.
Yes.
Happy anniversary, but what's the name of people who are afraid of being married? How do you call them? We're gonna fear. You know, they got different kinds of fear.
Myrophobia?
Is that what it is? Husband
the people
phobia.
from Great Britain know exactly what it is.
But thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Go ahead now.
Yeah, Mr. Tumba, what gave you that kind of fear? Go ahead, Mr. Tumba.
No, not me, because collectively, when I say some of us, I'm fully married and I enjoy also, and I found the trends of him and then many other people who have come before us. Yeah, it's a great honor being here today again to discuss issues affecting our nation and other factors that we identify as weakness or issues that we can look into for more progressive fairness of our nation, because we know there have been a lot of concern about Liberia. Many have come feel worse than what it was, and it's just a great responsibility for us who able to speak on those issues. And being here, we enjoy being here and joining many of you who have fought before us and who will fight, and other people will come and continue. I listened to I read the last orator. He said Liberia should be different whenever we find new generation of people. So what is responsible for us today is that where Liberia is, how do we leave Liberia, and how other people are going to leave Liberia. So it is the goal that we have to be here every time we have the opportunity to discuss the issue. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, Victor Namwe and I may have come we may be deceived from almost the same part, because this gone July 25th was my 32nd wedding anniversary. And right after that, he followed me. He just followed me everywhere. So
and no wonder why I'm not succeeding, because I keep following the wrong path.
But ladies and gentlemen, this week, the next 2 weeks, actually the last week and this week have been very tough. Like I said, one of my twin girls, both of them go to Florida State. They're senior. Yesterday, I had to drive 12 hours to drop one off. And this coming Wednesday, I will be dropping one off. She's doing her internship at the Capitol. So in Washington, D.C., I will have to drive the U-Haul truck from Florida 13 hours one way to drive her or check her in and then drive back. So it has been really, really tough moving between these girls. And I'm going to hire one extra driver to help drive one of the trucks. I'm saying this to say I got 6 women in my house. I'm the winning male. So other folks are saying, what? There got to be some pluses to this. Yes. When you have all these women around you, everything has to be just perfect. And they are very analytical. No argumentative people in the house, just me. So if you want to be on the good side, because everything that happens in our house, they put it to a vote. You know, this is the first time I see women love democracy because they know no matter what I do, I would never win. So it's always 5-1. So they come up, let's put it in the photo. Okay. Now once have I had even 2 to be on my side. So I just go along, but it is an honor to have all these young women. They are doing very well. Someone said they could have been worse by having children all over the place before they got out of school. So that's a plus, Victor. They're holding on to
yep. And I gotta give Joe credit. She's very smart. She built her own democracy right there in the house and threw you off the reservation. But let's recognize quickly, Jerome, Stanley KB. I hope I'm saying it right, but he's telling on the word for the fear of commitment is gamophobia, and I just looked it up, and he's very right. So thank you very much.
How do you call it?
Gamophobia.
Gamophobia. Okay.
Yeah.
But the man didn't say commitment. He said marriage. Right?
Well, that's fine. That's simply. When you marry somebody, you commit to for the rest of your life, right?
Yeah, some people may commit a relationship for 40 years. Right?
Listen,
that's not marriage.
Listen. You see, you from the Southeast. What did President Todman say? Victor, tell her what Todman said. When you live with a woman for I think 2 years in Liberia, she is your legal wife. There's nothing you can do, whether you agree to it or not. And I support the president on that. You cannot have somebody's daughter in your house as your partner for years, and you don't want to marry her after 2 years or so. I stand to be corrected, but that is enough. She can sue you. She has access. She has privileges that she enjoys. Michael George, you remember Michael George? That's our
That's why I'm highlighting, and that's your Bazaga right there. That's my boy Mike.
Actually, my first cousin.
Yeah, there you go. I know how the Bazaga are related. I know that.
The thing about the Bazaga, their family can finish.
Listen, the Bazaga people go to. You go to Magibi, we got people there. You go to Banga, we got people. You go to Bon County, we got people there.
Even Monserrato, you guys own.
Forget about Monserrato. We got Monserrato too. You go to everywhere you go, they got Bazaga community.
You're starting to sound like my friend Louis Brown during the CPV campaign. He would kind of sit down with me and talk about the Bazaga belt. You know what I'm saying? The Bazaga belt.
They said when the belt got tight around his waist, he fled. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a good show for you. Michael George, thank you very much for tuning in. Stanley KB, thank you very much. Sifas Now, thank you very much for tuning in.
So, Jerome, if you allow me before we get to the real stuff, right? Please. And thank you again, Mr. Toba. Thank you also for the compliment. But I want to recognize Mekili Behena. I think that's her name. 22 years old. This is the goalkeeper for the Cameroonian women's World Cup team. They call it the Lioness. This girl, she came to my attention the last game they had against Morocco to qualify them for the final. She saved 1 penalty during the game. They went to the shootout. She saved 3 penalties back to back. 4 penalties in one game. They're playing now. They play Malawi. They're in the 80th minute. They're up 3-0. So I think Cameroon is going to take it. I just wanted to give a shout out to the girl. I was so impressed. I have never, even from the men's side, I've never seen anything like that. Not even the guy from Cape Verde who we're talking about in the World Cup. Yeah, so I just wanted to give a shout out to Mekili. I think that's the first Mekili Behin.
What channel are they on?
They're on Bean Sport.
Oh, Beam. Okay.
Yeah, they're on Bean Sport.
Okay.
Is that giving money and reach to Beam? No.
I want to beam me up to the sky. No, Howard Jones, thank you very much for tuning in. Steven Slap. Hopefully I pronounced it right. Thank you very much. Guys, we will recognize you. Please send us what you are thinking, what's happening in your neck of the woods. And when you are from Bassa, you are prime. If you're from Barobo, you get to the back of the line. And if you Toba, you got to be from that place too. So you all got to go back behind the line and stand behind Grand Bassa, okay? Thank you very much. And be nice. You know, the civilized people come from Bassa.
There you go.
So I don't want to be prejudiced. I don't want to be a tribalist. But the Bassa is where the crew.
You just can't help it. We understand. Go ahead.
the Grego people and the crew people, when they went to look for a girlfriend, they put 10 pence, all color, yellow, black, yellow, green, they get red. When they come to Basa, I had one that was teaching me elementary school. He did what makes a sampon. When Professor Sample walks in the room, everybody stands.
We don't want to introduce words like gamophobia.
That's right. Someone said, when I say beat, you got to add ABLE to the end. So when someone walks in, someone said beat, the whole class you say beatable.
Let me just say something quickly. You know, I wanted to make be more on Basel Jenna, but then I said, let me check something quickly. I go look at the people who signed the Declaration of Independence. Only one person came from Sano.
And that was Jim E. Green.
One person, some guy called Murray, Richard E. Murray. Yeah, one person was representing the whole side of the country. All the other country didn't get about Basel and most rather get at 6 and this and that. We probably get one person representing.
I got one. Forget about it.
Mr. Gimmick made me feel bad today.
Yeah, forget about Barobo. They were in fact they were nowhere around. Anyway, they just became Barobo in 2024. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing some history. They said the crew people took Basel people over the seas because they could cook. Oh yeah? Okay,
right.
You know, we just rode along to cook.
But Dr. Booty, the reason that one man came from the crew territory, you know why? And because a lot of people came from Basel, is not because
wait.
It's coming.
No, it's not because they were doing something spectacular. Because Basel was conquered. So the people, so that is why the crew resisted a lot and they were conquered less. And so they were just accommodated. And that is why you see that. It's the same thing that happened like in Nigeria. The Igbos are mostly Christian because they were conquered faster than the Hausas that resisted. In South Africa, the Xhosas, who were the Mandela and the Mbekis, who so-called became educated because they were conquered faster and the Zulus resisted and they could not be conquered. So you fall in a very good category when it comes to that.
Thank you for flipping it up like that. Thank you.
And
so
the
much.
reason Taiwo is educated because he was conquered by some people.
Yeah, truly. I've been doing the decolonize myself for the last 30 years.
If we didn't conquer Taiwo, he would not be an engineer. He would not be a scientist. That boy would be over there still setting track, but it's all right. We'll be conquered sometimes. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a great show for you.
Let me just contribute one factor also. I'm going to contribute one factor. One of the factors could be politically, people are being held into power based on their constituents. And Grand Crew or Sano, they are still unpopulated, so their representations will not be equated to those who have more populations too. And it's still emerging every day.
Well, during those days, actually, the history of Liberia, when you look at the original documentation, said the Republic of Liberia was 40 miles from the sea, from the coast to the interior. So when you look at from the Atlantic Ocean, 40 miles in, anything after the 40 miles, the radius, if you want to Basel, the same thing when you go from Buchanan, 40 miles in, anything after that is considered hinterland. If you want to Sino from the water from Greenville, 40 miles, that's how it was. So the closest you were to Montserrat, when they first came, they wanted to cluster for strength. And Basel wasn't Basel, Marshall were not too far away, so they kind of formed that hegemony, and that's what. But anyway, that's another story for another day.
They were conquered. That's it.
Yes, they conquered Taiwo. Yeah. Let's go, Taiwo. When you became Taiwo, because
and all the Taiwo,
Taiwo, I understand your original name was Joseph Chesson. When you became Taiwo. Oh, Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Flex Electronic. But guys, let's go over some of the issues that we discussed during the week, and we can kind of put an end to the week. Let's look at the Ministry of Information, right? There are times when the Ministry of Information has always been the propaganda arm of the Republic of Liberia. For those of us that grew up in the 70s, Honorable Victor Nambo will tell you, we in the PAL movement or Moja, wherever you came from, you could not get airtime on ELBC. ELBC, even during the rice riot, all the speeches for Talbot, they calling Backer Mafia when he came from abroad, calling them the diabolical people and all that. Only ELBC, you will never find Backer Mafia on ELBC debunking. It will either be news they read. So the propaganda arm of the Republic of Liberia has always been ELBC. So I don't know why most people are surprised that this is something new. And when you look at those who are now running ELBC, are all vestiges of the True We Party, vestiges of the old system. Joseph Boakai came out of that system. Joseph Boakai was a cadet in the Liberian government in 1964. When he left CWA, went to University of Liberia, graduated in 1971 or so. So he is a product of the old system. He worked on the Todman, Talbot, and Doe. So that is a continuous effort on the part of the old system to keep everything in place. So we shouldn't be surprised, but it says here how the Ministry of Information is being used to attack government critic. We discussed this somewhere else, but other folks have to say the Liberians who criticize Boakai government in public are often answered not with information, but with attack, delivered directly from the platform of the taxpayers, platform paid for by the taxpayer. The official job of that office is to explain and bring clarity to government policy, but instead, it is where they go to insult and attack the opposition. And the man they brought in this time to do the dirty work is one Daniel Sano. All he does is denigrate, abuse, opposition, anybody that disagrees with the president. And everybody thought this time around, Sano have gone too far. The president will rein him in. Instead, the president visited his office, shook hands. To some, symbolism matters. The president is thanking him for doing a great job. Let me start with Victor. Victor.
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of us really were disappointed that because we had thought that this gentleman who represents everything that is despicable, about this government, was on a rogue assignment, that he was not enjoying the approbation of the president or the higher, powers. And we always felt that at some point in time he will be reined in and read the riot act and told to knock it off. And so when the president visited the ministry and seemed to be endorsing what this guy was doing, standing up and shaking hands with him, it's almost the same outcry that many people have been crying when Chris Onanuga Hayes took on Snow's mother and all of that. The president promised he was going to do something about it. And then he took the man and went to Buchanan with him, palling around and having a good time. So it really brings you to question, all of this praise of President Boakai. Many people say he's a man of integrity, he's a stand-up guy. I think we need to put all of this on the table and take it apart. Is Joseph Boakai really, really the president who we think he is? I mean, this is the man who we all thought was so experienced. He was coming into government with all the answers, and here we are. 3 years later, he has nothing. He got nothing. He's empty. He has absolutely nothing. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. I'm convinced now that whatever little he had in the tank, he's depleted. Right now he's gasping. He doesn't know what he's doing. For him to endorse Daniel Sano, who has insulted the former president of Liberia, George Manuel Weah, liking his brain to a mosquito brain, call Alexander Cummings dwarf or whatever little man. He takes and attacks everybody of substance in society. That's not politics. What Daniel Sano is doing is not politics. And the president, I expected the president to rein him in and tell him to knock it off. But unfortunately, they're celebrating. I've seen some of the posts on social media from Jeremy Pierre to the rest of them, to Patrick Hona, to Mo Ali, to all of them, celebrating this guy. Right there under the post, the picking here, fire for fire, Baku you strong, picking you get high. Really? Really? So, I will pass it on quickly, Jerome, but shout out again to my Scorpion Nation. They gather in I believe South Carolina, and just concluded a reunion, elected a new queen. So Cardinal Alumni Association, shout out to Bofa, Rachel Bofa Jala. I think she's now the Royal Highness for Scorpion Nation. But back to you. I hope we'll talk about Sheikh Kuyate since today is open mic, we can review, because I hope we've all listened to what this guy said about what is happening at the border. But back to you, Jerome.
Great. Let me welcome Steve Bullitt. Dr. Steve Bullitt, welcome to the show. Yes, there's nothing new. We all saying this. It's just for the younger folks who were not around, they may find this will be something about Dr. Bullitt. The Minister of Information, the guy, the boss man said, Pekin, you strong. Dr. Bullitt, you get high, hey, fire for fire.
Well, I don't know why anyone is surprised, right? Because I think it was clear from the get-go that this president didn't understand what it took or what it would take to bring Liberia to a place that we can be respected, but also that ordinary Liberian people can have the opportunity to look forward to making ends meet in a dignified way. Right. So this is the same president that a few days in May last year, after Sandra Johnson went on radio and said that he would cost people to defend the president rewarded him by appointing him liaison to the national legislature. This is the same president who saw the prophet insult George Weah's mom and the moms of other women, other people in Liberia for years, and then welcome him with red carpet, put him on the same podium as himself, right? This is the same president who went to the Capitol building after fire had engulfed the building and became judge, investigator, executioner, whatever, and declared that this was arson, right? So that people will be surprised that Joseph Boakai will be shameless and walk into someone's office who is insulting opposition leaders and Liberians. And this is where, Mr. Gaiman, I feel so sorry for our country sometimes, and this is one of the situations, right? These are the same individuals that were shouting when the Supreme Court violated the constitutional right of Prophet Key and sent him to prison, right? Taking up a case that they had no right constitutionally taken up because there was no constitutional question to be answered, right? He didn't violate anyone's constitutional rights. So they didn't have a constitutional question to answer. They were all dancing around, yeah, Prophet Key causing him to go to jail. These are the same people now sitting there and endorsing someone for insulting other people. I'm not surprised. I'm concerned, and we've been saying we're concerned for the past two, and I've been here since 2024, and I've been saying how concerned I am with this president. And unfortunately, these guys believe that they can do these things and get away with it because the people that they lead are unwilling or maybe unable to say to them, look, this is unacceptable. All right. Because with all the things that George Weah government did, I am not sure that his government officials were as unprofessional as this. I don't believe that they were as blatant as this. I don't believe that they were taking the Liberian people for fools as these guys are doing. And it's up to the Liberian people to make a decision as to what they want to see. Because if they're happy to exist in a country that is ran like this, then hey, credit to them. Let them continue. But this is not a country that I think as it is run now, that anyone can be proud of to say, look, yes, we've got a guy. Look, and I'll end on this, right? You know, sometimes we joke about these things, but someone said to me many years ago, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, understood Joseph Boakai. She knew his limitations. That's why she did not, that was, I don't know about you, because Mr. Game and Mr. Nangba, you guys are politically more advanced and more experienced than I am. I have never seen yet in my life where an outgoing president will fail to endorse their own vice president for the presidency, right? Bill Clinton did it for Al Gore. Others did it for their, I was shocked to see it. And I don't think I've got any other evidence of a president leaving office and then tell the Liberian people or tell her people, oh, my vice president is not good enough to succeed me, right? And if we don't know, now we know, as we say in Liberia. And I'll end it there.
Great, guys. There are a lot of folks agreeing with what you are saying here. Steve Bowler said, hello, guys. Based on your first topic, there is nothing new here about JMB's behavior and action. Here are some few examples of what he did while he was in opposition, and he named some of the things he did. So that's what it is. But let me go to Joe. Joe, I've used the term, and everybody uses it. We say it, don't use my mouth to chew your hot pepper. But Daniel Sando's mouth is where they are beating all the hot pepper until he figures it out. This is what's going to happen all the time. The people they want to deal with personally, and they don't want to because they're afraid. They don't want to tarnish their own image. They use him to go after the opposition, people they don't like. And for him, it's okay.
Yeah. So look at what happened here. I will address, throw light on something that the Buddha said last before I move on to the actual stuff. There could be some truth to, or some semblance of logic to what you said concerning Madame Sirleaf, right? That she knew Boakai incompetence and all of that stuff. Yeah, but I doubt it, because she could not have thought that we are actually had any level of competence. What happened? They had disagreement. So because I want for me to point that out, as if Ellen Johnson Sirleaf actually has some good interest of Liberia at heart, that she didn't want to put somebody there that were going to ruin the country. They later also ruined the country and set this foundation that we are dealing with. So it was disagreement within their group. So to punish him and to protect herself based on, I got some insight on some of the disagreement that they had. And when we came to power, he actually confirmed that. I'm not going to audit her because we are all one people. Liberia is too small. And when everybody pushed, he refused. That's where the disagreement was. But look, Jerry John Rawlings, not only that he didn't support his vice president, he beat the crap out of him and put him in the hospital. So I'm just trying to tell you it's happening. But that is not an excuse, not but just to say that. So when disagreement happened among them politically, it's not even for the interest of the country. Look, Jerome, the topic, this democracy that we're practicing, the party politics that is very divisive, is a clown show. I'm not too aware of Torba time, but I'm aware a lot about Doe. The Ministry of Information in a polarized environment where you have so-called opposition. I don't even like that word, because opposition create this instability, create this energy that tend to push things towards instability in people seeking their personal interest and using the people and the country as the currency that they're using. If you are president, I'm not saying this is right, but I'm just saying the system that is set up is working the way it was set up. So instead of us looking at the outcome, the symptom, let's look at why is that way. If you are president and some guy was trying to remove you in terms of voting or trying to, and then the station that fall under your control, that is the airway, are you going to actually turn it over to the people that are trying to remove you so that they can come there and give out messages and all of this stuff? No, Natural human behavior would not allow that based on that kind of environment. So that is why it has always been that way. If you go to China or Russia, you will see the same thing. They're not going to allow you to come on the national radio trying to want to remove that government. Even here in the US, other than the single party with two names, anybody that's coming outside that system that want to come in, look at campaign. They restrict everybody else out. There's only the two parties that are sponsored to constantly run the show. So I'm just telling you that the system we have, that we are practicing, that we have, is what produced that. In a polarized environment, here it is, you have to make the other person look bad. Not even for the interest of the country, but so that then you can create a fake image to the people so that you can continue in power. So this thing that you have is meant for you to tear down the other person. We've seen that we have, so we have to recognize that. Then we say, but how do we try to manage this? Now the cursing part, it happened everywhere. What happened is just a degree. It happened on an Ellen based on how you talk. You don't have to physically, verbally, like maybe say certain word, but it happened. The thing here is that whenever one group come to power, they think the country belongs to them. They misbehave and do all kinds of nonsense. When Opponent were in power, what was happening? Thomas Koji were everywhere where there was any kind of gathering. What happened? Baka come to power, they continue the same thing all over the place. And it's not going to change. It might be minimized here and there, but it's going to be the same thing. So there's a trend that we are following. So for me, the question that we should be asking is, how do we try to tweak this particular system that we have so that we can avoid going this route? I can assure you it's going to be almost impossible because the system that we are running is a clown show. You must denigrate the other people. You must talk them down. You must. It's a stuff where there's the blind competition. And Dr. Booty, the people don't have any power. I'm just telling you. Okay, you are in party politics. And everybody is a supporter of their own gang called political party. They're not going to agree with CDC or CMC or ANC, even if they know that the person is wrong so that they can be removed. Because they know that when other people come there, how they're going to act. Because the record to show it. So the people are splintered. You can't muster enough of them at any given point to actually come together to solve. Because remember, the people have been conditioned over the years to live in a divided country based on party line. So there is no movement there to actually bring the people together and say, look, we have to go beyond political party. If the person commit corruption that's going to make the road to not be built is for all of us, let's come together. That is the area that we have not really arrived at. How do we do that?
Excellent.
Mr. Gimme, can I just have 10 seconds quickly, please, right? Because I just want to clarify. Mr. Tao said that Rawlings did not support his vice president. Ku Akan was his vice president for his first term. His second term was John Arthur Mills, and he did support John Arthur Mills.
Yeah. After he got that guy out, he forced that guy out.
My point was, when you're leaving office, right, do you support your vice president? And he did support John Arthur Mills, even though he lost to Kufuor, but he did support John Arthur Mills.
That's true, right? But that was the one he did not have disagreement with. That's the point I was making.
But my point was an outgoing president not supporting their vice president. That was my point.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. I got it.
Okay, let me work on the Black Ninja. You see her? You see her shades? She's ready to strike. Welcome, Fanta, to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Gimme. Hello, everyone. Hello, Mr. Nangwe. How are you? Thanks for the invite. Hello, Mr. Fanta and Tao and Buddy. Hello, everyone. Yes, go ahead, please.
Fanta is the queen of uncensored. So if you want to put a filter to somebody's mouth, she is not the one. If you want to have something, you want to discuss it partially, she's not the one. You want to talk about it, we talk the whole thing. You talk your own, and I talk my own. Don't tell me how to say my own. Thank you very much for coming. Let me go to Mr. Tokba. Mr. Tokba, the Ministry of Information, the actual definition of the Ministry of Information is to disseminate information for the government to the people. But as usual in Liberia, the nomenclature, right, what they say on paper means absolutely nothing. This has turned out to be, it has always been, the propaganda arm of the government. Nothing else, nothing more. If you talk to Daniel Sano and ask him, what is the economic plan of the president? What is the agricultural plan of this administration? He has nothing, but he will come out there and actually use profanity against anybody who is against the government. Your take on the Ministry of Information?
Well, the Ministry of Information, like many other institutions in Liberia, and those who guide policies do not have knowledge of what they do. Because when you talk about information, it's to educate the public on the working of government, what is happening, how far we are. It's not about attacking people personally. If you have the facts, then you can go about to release them. But where you use sentiment, emotions as a policy maker or stakeholder, and you use taxpayer money to earn a lively life, and at the same time you don't have information to give the people, then it's totally unacceptable. So the content of the information ministry by those who have the briefing must be very concise. Is to give information what is happening and where the public have doubt and what the clarity that is surrounding those issues. But in the absence of those things, and you start to attack people personality because you feel you don't like them, you're for the same camp, then what you need to do, open it an outlet of yourself where when anybody comes there, you say, okay, this is where for. But now where you stand on podium, national podium, that you sort of disseminate information to the public and do those kind of things, it's uncivilized. And you made reference to the past. We still fighting against those vices that affected our society, how things were done unchecked. That's why we have the kind of society we have today. We have the multi-party democracy in our society. So to do what is right for the people. And it's not what you feel as a government official because you don't like my statement or I not sort of question you. That is not how the information ministry should function to the public. Yeah.
Fanta, when I was at the greatest institution in the Republic of Liberia called Bassa High School, our debate class, they would say something called ad hominem, right? When you are lacking the facts, you attack personality, basically to deflect and to divert from the topic. So if I am Daniel Sano and my government is not performing well in economics, agriculture, and the drug thing is all over the place, why even venture to do that? Just go for the throat of the opposition. I think he's doing a great job based on the basic ad hominem notation.
Yeah, it reminds me of the local slang, right? Keke dog, completely unhinged. And so he's become the kicker dog of the administration, right? It's perfect for creating distractions. What will be much more admirable is to actually come up with some metrics, right? If you feel like the public is coming hard on the government, come up with some metrics and say, look, per our arrest agenda, we're in year 2+. Here is what we're supposed to be, right? You have burned literally all of the budget for at least 2 years. You should be at least, we should say 40%, about 40%, or at least 38%. What does your metric shows? That's what you should be talking about. But I'm not surprised about these antics. As I said, it is very much remnants. It is very much similar or akin to a kicker dog. And he's demonstrating just that. He's demonstrating those traits perfectly. I'm not surprised. Look, we understand, I think we understand by now that this government does not, their playbook at least, is nothing short of ghetto. It's nothing short of being a cartel. It's nothing short of being an administration who has no regards for laws or the people. So how can we expect anything decent out of them? or its representatives. I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. It is unfortunate. My biggest thing is to continue to propagate to the everyday people to pay attention. Pay attention to the people that you vote for, because in the end, this is what you're going to get. If you're truly looking for service, if you're looking for people who can actually listen to your grievances and actually do something about them, make better choices next time. But these people who you've given 6 years to, when they get done with our country, we probably would not be able to recognize it. Look, Liberia is, I would not be surprised in the next UN report, in the next US security report, that they deem Liberia Africa's second narco state. It's ridiculous that this is where we are at this moment in time. And instead of actually informing the public, as is their responsibility, of actual policies and things you've put in place to impact their lives positively, it becomes like a theatrics. That is what we're seeing.
Wow. Yes, real quick, Tower, go ahead.
Yeah. So look, what happened here, Topa, and I don't see her name. My sister here, they made a point, right? And you also echoed that point on what the ministry is supposed to be doing, right? But they're not able to do that because they don't have no economic or agricultural plan. They have no real policy that is tangible and applicable in any way. So in the absence of those, the airway is used to pretty much go around and curse. And this government is in power now, but it's not that much different from the other government that came before them. Go and actually look at Liberia and just see the history and look and see which government that were actually really in power, that had an actual real national agenda and like program, policies that they actually try to put an effort and they actually were able to articulate to a real good point and then have processes in how they were going to implement it. It really doesn't exist. So we're just going along, it's just getting worse. When I came here the first time, Jerome, you were here, I told you as bad as this government is, as people, our government is, the Bwaka government will be worse. And you know the shocking thing? Bwaka will leave from the next government that come in will be even worse than Bwaka, and that is the scary part. And this is the trend. Look across Africa in this governing system that we have of removing one and putting one. Just look. Each government is getting worse than the previous one. Generally, just look across the landscape. And Liberia is in that book. So those are the things we should look at. Why is it going this way? For us to try to kind of see and find out and then throw light on and try to address it.
Let me go to while we address the second one. The second point here is
wait, Mr. Jimmy, can I just say something really quick?
Yes, please go ahead.
Mr. Tawo, you're wrong because they do have an agenda, but it's a borrow agenda. It is not authentic, right? It is borrowed. Therefore, when you borrow something and you're not the owner, you're not the innovator, your ability to implement is zero. When you don't understand what it means to put pen to paper and you print something off the internet because it looks nice, right? You go to ChatGPT and pull something from there because you think that's what the people wants to hear. You're stuck with the responsibility of having to actually bring that thing to fruition. When you don't understand what it means, you're going to run into roadblocks. And that's exactly what we're seeing today. The arrest agenda, the agriculture was supposed to achieve 70% food self-sufficiency within the 6 years. They were supposed to empower farmers. They were supposed to be mechanized farming, growing rice. Where are those efforts today? Because they're not innovators. They're thieves of ideas. And there's nothing wrong with borrowing an idea, but understand and be committed. Be committed at least 70% to implementing it. But when you don't even know how to implement it, that means like you are a fraud. You are a complete fraud. And that's exactly what we are seeing, a complete charade.
Jerome, let me quickly add to what Fanta is saying. I agree with everything she said, and I also agree. I disagree with Joe Tao. To insinuate, in fact, to expressly state that, because this government is bad, the next government that's coming is going to be bad too. Because I'm a part of the opposition that wants this government out because they're not doing anything for our people, and I refuse to accept the fact that he believes we're going to do the same old, same old. No, we're not. We are not. We're going to do the exact opposite of what this government is doing. We're going to be more transparent. We're going to be more responsive to our people. And we think our people, there's a lot of help that could be brought in our people's way. So yeah, that characterization.
Can I push back? Can I push back? Okay. Were you part of the opposition the last time around?
I supported the CPP a day.
Okay, and the CPP were supposed to move George Weah and bring in a new administration, right? And they did.
The CPP did not.
No. The opposite, you were part of the CPC. The CPP were
but
part of the opposition.
But this is not the opposition I was a part of. I was not a part of the rescue team. So right now...
No, I didn't say that, but you were part of the idea to get the CDC out of power to break. Okay?
Correct.
And that change came on. So you got to admit
no, that's not a change. I refuse to accept that. This is not a change that I advocated for.
That's the point. That's the point. We told you that don't go for the change. You said change was inevitable. The change came out. Now you're coming back here again with me and you now. Not just this time I'm with you. We are not coming back for another change. So he is saying the change you're bringing might be even worse than this one we got. This one, I think Tower has a point here.
No, this change right now, this is the brown type change. We're looking for the green type change. We were advocating for the green type change.
Ladies and gentlemen, share the show, send in your comments. We will definitely flag it. Before we go, the next one is I will start with talk about here is Prophet Key, the young man by the name of Yanze. The king of Nema County just got out of jail, but before he could get out of jail, the news was all over the place, and the president decided to blunt that news by dedicating a toilet. Brought the entire media with him to dedicate a public toilet. Toba, I have seen it all, but I mean, the Congo people say get worse and worse, and it's getting worse. How is the president of a nation take glee in bringing the entire world to dedicate up? Yes, go ahead. I don't want to go there before you say it.
So in development studies, one thing we look at is not from the perspective of the provider, but the receiver. So as a president, this is nothing that you want to dedicate. When you come to power, is to make sure that you have a vision, identify areas of improvement and areas that need new development. So pit latrine is nothing that making news, because those are obvious things that have been damaged for years. And when you call yourself a rescue team or a train or in whatever name you want to give it, is you already have a plan. You know what is lacking, what the people need, and how can you filter in those development in the area. But if you come from up and just impose what of no substance to the people, it doesn't make impact. What we got county development, we got district. What those district and county really lacking? How do we impact daily activity that lead to economic productivity? Those are the kind of things. Now, let me just backtrack from those of area. We have seen a lot of poor performances over the years. You cannot compare performance and goals, because goal is not being tried or tested. But the performance is the result that we are seeing from the past 2.5 years is not encouraging. And we need to do something that the Liberian people will be satisfied, will live life that they deserve, with the level of population we have, with the earning that we have. Everything we earn, it just go on costs. Overhead costs. That is unthinkable for Liberia. We lecture the people. Let us empower Liberians. Empowerment is not just about education. It's about giving them what they can use to survive on. Because many times people say, oh, we have schools, but are the school capacity there? No. But those skills that they need, because when people are able to feed themselves, sustain themselves, nobody can give them empty promises because they don't look up to you to live. But the situation Liberians find themselves in today, they're looking up to government because government is not creating those capacity, those conditions that they will help them to strive to make their own impact. Now, with Prophet Key coming out of the jail, for me, it's not really news because under the law, if you falsely incarcerate somebody and if you get a time frame and the time frame is over, the person deserves their freedom. So what Prophet Key needs to do now is to challenge his time spent there and how the government can pay some damage control. Because you can deny people their constitutional right because you don't like them. The same man sat in Morocco cursing. I don't follow that guy because why? He's not the kind of person that I need to follow. But people heal him. People gave him cash out to abuse in our society, use media to abuse. So if you got a charge against him, present the facts. And since they do not have the facts, he has spent his 6 months, productive 6 months in jail. What can he do? He needs to find a lawyer that is genuine, a lawyer that knows what it means to take away your right and give him the right to compensation. That's what he needs to do.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. We are reading your comments. Thank you very much. We see a lot of new folks. Fanta, the press secretary, after the whole media hullabaloo, came out and say, I don't know whether it's a policy or something, but she announced that the president will no longer dedicate small projects. Thank you very much, Jen, for reminding me. That slipped my mind. Kula Fofana, after the brimstone, not even firestorm, but brimstone, that this president standing before a pit toilet and saying, and women are coming basically bowing down to him, thank you, this is the first that has happened in our lifetime, and the president of a nation standing before that, not even a public policy to say every county will have 10 of these that will benefit everybody. That's just one in one little area. And it has such a backlash. The president office has to come and say, hey, we throw in the White Tower. This is not going to happen anymore. No more small projects here. What does this say about our planning, our public policy? Are they just winking it or what?
I think you're giving these people like too much credit. You're giving them too much credit. For someone,
that's why you are here. Break it down for us.
For someone who spent 40 years in government and has nothing to show for it, like nothing to show for it. Someone who referred to themselves as a parked car, a whole vice president of a nation for 12 years. The only thing he could say about his vice presidency was that he was a parked car in a garage being used and abused because he was an errand boy. That's what errand boys do. Errand boys are small-minded. When you have a small brain, you can only do small things. If you only do small things, you can only dedicate small things. Where is this expectation to associate larger than life projects with someone who refers to himself as a parked car, pretty much docile, incompetent? The leadership handed to Joseph Boyka was out of pity. The people felt he was in his old age. They're not suffering him too much. So maybe they can just reward him small by making him president. And that's where we err, because we cannot elect people based off of feelings. We cannot elect people based off of pity. Nobody has time to have pity parties, because pity parties don't end up in nothing but pity. You wake up in the morning feeling very bad and sorry for yourself. It's like a bad hangover. You end up vomiting what you ingested. This is a situation Liberia is experiencing today. Someone who lacks the ability to introduce anything transformational. That person has been given the highest office in our country with the expectation of delivering and relieving the burdens of the Liberian people. what they can claim is that I have delivered a public latrine. Look, I've heard some of the pushback to say this was an idea from a person in the diaspora, and he wanted to be there to demonstrate that he's taking the ideas of the diaspora seriously. You know how many Liberians are in the diaspora? Do you know how many Liberian professionals are in the diaspora? You have lawyers, doctors, technologists, okay, who have contributed innovative ideas to this administration. And what have they done? Because they're jealous. They're gatekeepers. They refuse to allow anything innovative and fresh to come in. They sideline them. They will only take their money. They only want to go collect that Western Union paper. So the remittances is what they have relegated people in the diaspora to. It's just good enough to send money. When you put forth an idea that is actually formidable, it is rejected. But when you put forth a governmental idea, then, oh, we want to celebrate people in the diaspora because they just submitted an idea to construct a governmental that has AC. Here, the stupidity, I have no other words like for it. Your claim to fame, as they say, your claim to fame, your legacy is that you finally implemented an idea from the diaspora, nothing innovational. You have people who have contributed innovative ideas like to our telecommunication agencies. It has gone in the dustbin. But someone drew out a blueprint and said, you know what? Instead of being a regular government toilet, let our AC to it. That's the innovation. That's what you go to dedicate. Look, the people around the president are all very small-minded. The president he himself has a very small brain. So when you have a small brain surrounded by small-minded people, the output is going to be dedicating government toilet projects. Rather than transforming our ICT sectors, rather than strengthening our cybersecurity sectors, rather than actually getting hands on the table, bodies to the table, who can help you achieve the 70% food self-sufficiency, rather than just allowing those voices in. Look, as a leader, one thing you have to understand, you don't have to know it all, but identify the people who can make you look good and implement what they suggest. He doesn't even have the ability to do that. He surrounds himself with yes men because that's all he wants to hear is yes. And what can that do for the people? Nothing transformative. You're going to continue to get government toilets. That's it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is this is from one of the supporters of the government, Augustus Bailey, a friend of mine from New Jersey. It is a good thing to building toilets in most needed communities. That is not the case. There were just one. However, city mayors or ministry or local government could dedicate those little projects and not the president. For God's sake, in my opinion, even as a supporter of this government, it does not make any sense. Mr. Bailey, I agree with you. We have somebody on the line here. Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Calabo Gormo.
Go ahead.
From Cedar, Pennsylvania. I
Yes.
just wanted to add to find that point she was making to remind the listening audience and the panelists. If you guys recall, the first big project, or I may say, I don't want to say little project, that President Bouaga dedicated was the police boots. Do you guys remember?
Yes.
In July. And actually, these police boots, I saw some of them like in the trash, like parked grass, growing the right. Give me, I'm not killing. Driving along the Comotan route, you know. And I saw that, well, the president dedicated these boots. Yeah, they are. They are far away from the road now. I don't know whether the police push them away or they didn't need it. I mean, so I for the toilet, I believe there is need for that because open defecation is, prevalent in our country. So they will make use of it. But I agree with those who criticize the president. The office of the president going there to dedicate that, really, But let's even face it. I mean, you want to spin anything you want to spin. In this country, do we have air conditioning in our houses, in the toilet? Do we have air conditioning? We don't. Who puts air conditioner in the toilet in the United States or in Great Britain? Maybe Mr. Bode should tell. In UK, maybe they put air conditioner in the toilet. I don't know. I mean, you can have air conditioner in the building, but I don't know whether they put it in the toilet. So I think people are just trying to show how they are mismanaging public funds. I think that's what they're trying to show. I mean, if you have regulational area on the toilet and you put air conditioner, is separate. But the narrative coming out of the government communication is that it's an air conditioned toilet. I'm not saying air conditioned toilet. I mean, that's my point. But because that's how they're skinning it to the public. It's an air conditioned toilet. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me because I don't have air conditioning. I have air conditioning in all my rooms, but not in the toilet.
Okay,
makes sense.
Yeah, thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
let me just clarify, Mr. Gaiman, right? We don't even have air conditioning in our private homes in the UK, so I don't know where we'll put it in toilet.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead, Fanta, real quick.
How much did they spend? I'm interested because the pushback again is a public defecation. We have to discourage it. So this is meant to be mass produced. So how much did they spend? What's the budget?
Well, this is what we are talking about. Those who have interest in public policy. If it's a public policy, it says, well, we got 14 counties and we got 78 districts or 180 districts. Every district is going to have one of these. This is a public policy, and this is how it's going to be funded in the budget. It's going to cost $100,000 per county. We got 14 counties, so we got $1.4 million appropriated to build these toilets in all districts. That's public policy. But you can't say a group from the diaspora built one toilet and the president came to dedicate that toilet because someone says it has AC in it. If the government is trying to spend that, I wouldn't even believe it because the country does not have running water. So how in the world will you have a toilet that you say will be operational? Second, you do not have functioning electricity. So how will the AC in the toilet work? So this whole thing is just a PR debacle that these guys have not thought about, and it makes no sense at all. The number there is 772-940-2871. I'm going to put it there, but it's scrolling along the line. We're going to put it there. Mr. Namwe, can you please type in my number there so we can put it across? But yes, ladies and gentlemen, is 772-940-2871. Mother Nelson is 772-940-2871. A very interesting topic. Real quick, Mr. Tabo, 1 minute.
Oh, okay, because I've not spoken on the topic, that's why.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I'm looking behind you. There's no problem. That grandpa saw you here. Look nice. No public toilet. Go ahead.
Look, you see all this you're talking about dedicating toilet and all of this stuff. Fanta said that she disagreed that these people have plan. No, that is what you're addressing. They don't have plan. Jerome, you just made it very clear right there. You're from a public policy background, right? I'm from a technical background. If we're going to design something for it to be able to work, we first come up with a concept. Then, based on our concept, we design it, we do the prototype, we do the testing, and all of this stuff. So you have a whole plan. The rescue agenda is not a plan; it's just bulleted points. Where did they actually develop that to say the agriculture, how they're going to do it, where they're going to start, how it's going to be funded, what method and processes they're going to follow? The yellow machine for the road. They just jump up, they grab it, they brought it. We kept discussing it. How are they going to distribute it? Where are they going to be stored? What are they actually supposed to be using them for? Who's going to be in charge of them? Is it some kind of Army Corps of Engineers? Or they're going? So they don't have any kind of plan. They wrote some stuff down. That's just bulleted items they wrote down. But there is no actual, that's what I said, they don't have any actual plan to move the country forward. So what they're doing, they issue all these statements, and then one day they jump up, they grab this one, they grab that one. That is why they're not going anywhere. Look, I am not political. So I'm not going to go political. I'm going to look at the stuff holistically based on the way the governments have been functioning. It is not just this government. Yes, this one is in power now, but it's not just this government. This is the problem that we've had. If they have good agricultural policy, look at the budget. So if they actually have plan, let's look at the budget, because the budget is going to determine if what they issue is an actual plan that they intend on implementing. No. So that is what we have.
Excellent.
So this is the problem here. They don't have a plan. Everybody come in and jump all over the place. Where the propos, they have propos. It was just a statement issue. Where was the actual breakdown on how things were going to be done? Based on these bulletin points that the issue didn't exist. And they don't exist yet today.
Thank you. Let me, ma'am, your name and where you calling from?
Hi, Mr. Gamon. This is Mariah Nelson.
Go ahead.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. Go ahead.
Mr. Gamon, first of all, I want to thank God. Thank you for the new week that we are live.
Thank you.
And hello to all Liberians on the platform. You know, Mr. Gamon, it's a sad thing. You know, it's sad. The idea we no politician or we're not politicians, like I always say, are coming from in the market. Selling pepper better border, but God's grace, the Civil War, God took us and brought us here through refugee program. I like to explain where I'm coming from, because if you don't know where you're coming from, you will not know where you're going. And I brought my children here by His grace. After all my parents died from the southeast, but it went try, all have to support the nation. You will try. Now you're talking about this old man building Tolly. From Tottenham Town, the first president I knew, I was born 1952, Mr. Gable. The first president I knew was Mr. President Tottenham. What did Tottenham ready to do? Nothing. All the ministry, the defense ministry down by Business Street there for Tottenham, the justice ministry for Tottenham, all go up. The passport, then they won't have the immigration. You know what I'm talking about, Mr. Gable. They're trying to hide people. This old man came to our country when old man Tamatela, bro, he a small boy, he grew up there. Just how we came here, bro, our children, some of them got degrees, some got masters, some got bachelor. From in the market, but thank God. But this Liberia here, this Liberia, we shouldn't just sit in America here and just talk. We got to go home with awareness. Every day I go on Mr. Gibbon show, we started with concern Liberia. We have to go home. Some people here, they can't on panelists, they talk, they don't want to go Liberia. They're too dirty from them. They got children in our country right there from LU. Their children there, they got masters from all these different colleges, AME, IFP. They don't never give them job. That job where they want to get them put here and go put them in position when he took over. When will we get to know that this country, we all need to come together? Though what the first president that built for building defense ministry in our country, when Ellie took over, she created that where the money not coming from two pockets. You know, some of these sorry fucking people, it's a long story. Some of us say we're not going back to that country. But when we saw George Weah, when he took over by God's grace and started to build power for children to play, you know, in this country, when someone comes in, everybody prepared where to go carry their children. And they only continue to divide our nation. Anybody go say something, then they're chasing their children. How can a man like a boy called Keith? I don't say prophet because I'm not going to make fun of myself and say, I play with God, I play with myself. Like they will continue to play with God. And without Satan, there will be another problem for us. Somebody called Keith and you keep adding prophet to his name. He's telling you he come from jail, he eating with king and queen, went to Jeremiah pool, and he ready to start cussing women for a guy. All these things don't bring peace. Somebody somewhere wanting to do it to bring the woman down because they also too want to be president. And all the infight are going on. The country don't like people are dying. The other day I came on your platform here, and I said a old lady died right in front of me. I have to cover her with blanket. I offer her better right. She refused it. One man working in the government, I don't know his name, he tried to act rude and say all kinds of things. I just look at these are the people. Why they can't employ the children that are in the country? The children are LU there. Right now, the children people in the bathroom in plastic there. No toilet, no nothing. They play bath or you say when they toilet to put air condition. So the woman will come from Westman Waterside Market to go take Texas. When the prices go up, gas prices to go toilet on the air condition. When no current in the place, you buy meter. I don't know what kind of contract that to go buy meter. We living in a developed country. Where are the development? This old man is not a Liberian because he's a wicked old man. When the children lay, when Queen Johnson lay her hand on the people's child, promising young boy, finishing college, doing the election, we got a video, you got it if I'm not mistaken, and lay her hand on the people's child. He was struggling to take off his t-shirt, and the children beat that boy with the bag of the state. Kiki said he died. Then they fight other nature. They were going to kill Thomas Fala. They killed that boy in Lufa, right in front of Thomas Fala house. They only came to power and get that girl job. And you think this old man, God are confusing, so you will misbehave. You take it or you leave it. Because somebody abusing women on the bad, their people parents. You abuse child we are man for 6 years in her grave. And you say this man, you're putting him on, you're bringing him from platform to platform. This is what we need to pray for. Some of us will not get degree, our degree that to say I want to calculate. But the thing that's going on in the country there, the blood that wastes in our nation there, they crying. The baby that they took from the mother womb is crying.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mother Nelson. Concerned Liberian, her nomenclature is let the children play. Her lifetime struggle has been an affordable platform, a country, a nation where children can at least get to play. And that is everybody's dream because we know the importance of park and recreation. We don't have to explain that. Everybody knows in this country, park and recreation does everything. It is for health, it is for athletics, it is for the young, it is for the old. You name it, it happens. The park, there is no city that can be designed without parks and recreation, period. For crime prevention, for health reasons, and all of that. Thank you very much, Mother Maria. We will definitely never forget that. Yes, park and recreation is part of our legacy. Let me go to Mr. Toba. Let's address this here. When Prophet King was put in jail, I'm coming to you, and you can address it while we go around. We got a little more time. When Prophet King was being put in jail, he was put in jail. We know it was illegal what it did to him. The crime, contempt, the Constitution says it carries 30 days imprisonment. They made it 6 months. Not only that, but they say the February rule, it says here, for Prophet Keith supported the 6-month sentence appears straightforward. He was sentenced to 180 days in Monrovia Central Prison after the Supreme Court found him guilty of criminal contempt. The one period had elapsed. The natural expectation was that he would be released and go about his business. But the February ruling did more than impose custodial sentences. The Supreme Court ordered Prophet Key to publish an apology to the judiciary in the Liberian and the Liberian women in 3 local dailies for 5 consecutive days. He was also required to execute a behavior bond for the life of his life, the rest of his life. He will not misbehave, he will not curse, and whenever he breaches that, he forfeit and he goes back to jail. So folks are saying this is not the end of this sentence, it is just the beginning. Is it legal for someone to put this on a Liberian citizen that for the rest of your life, You cannot curse or you go back to jail. This is where we are. This is a scam, and people, the Liberian people are speaking up. Mr. Tukba, your turn.
Well, indeed, it's very much illegal to do that. It is unconstitutional. It's undemocratic. The Constitution provides freedom for everyone, a safe space to express themselves, to do whatever they can do within the law, within the framework of the law. Let's go back to the Truth and Reconciliation confessions that were held at the September Pavilion. Former President Madden said he was banned for 30 years. That ban did not take any effect. And many other people who kill people because of the senseless war that we're still discussing issues that cannot move our country forward. They are the one at the head of power enjoying today. People boasting in intellectual discourse, yet we designed this war, we did this, and they are there still living on taxpayer money. Someone who you condone, who you made to be who he is today, and to use the constitution or use authority, not constitution, to use the authority to compare him, to suggest him to waive his right while he still has those means, though intellectual ability to make decisions for himself, to express the way you enjoy him express himself in the past. I think it's nothing that any Liberian should accept. Why do we have the judicial system? Is to make sure that our rights are guaranteed under the Constitution. So if he violated any rights, let them go to the court. And if the court cannot do it, the Supreme Court can be there to take appeal. So if the court is becoming a political theater where the president influences things or the chief justice, so the chief justice is a citizen. If his rights being violated or he feels that somebody did something that does not, make him happy, endangers his character or whatever way that his character has been maligned, let him take the law. The law is the only one that everyone should suggest. So nobody should suggest any person because they have authority or they have that power that's been given to them by the entire citizenry. And I think Poverty, like I said in previously, he needs to take a serious lawyer, unbending one, who understands the Constitution, who knows the rights of people, who knows the rights of our citizens. And so this thing should stop. I feel very sad that many of us will want to backtrack on comparison. There's no comparison between two governments because they all come with different thoughts, with different mindset, with different program, with different ideas. So what work and what fail for them, it fail for them. And this is why we have elections, is to make sure that what been promised and not been fulfilled, what is doable and not doable, on those parameters, election are held and people look at issues and debate the issue that is file striking for the citizen, what they really want. Um, why do we have different local authorities in our society or in any states? Is to make sure that development, distribution of wealth are being accounted for through those different setups. We have a Ministry of Planning and Development. What are the agenda for development? What does the law say? What does the policy say? So I think it's nothing to really think critically about. Property. Well, Key needs to do something more than what he sees, what he hears. His rights have been violated, and he needs to take on issues.
Thank you. Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Washington. I'm calling from Chicago.
Go ahead.
Speak louder.
Yeah, I've been listening to you guys. You do a very good job, and I also listen to my sister, who said that Joseph Newman Walker has no vision, UP has no vision. The question we need to ask ourselves is that 85% of the population is illegal. So they rely on people in diaspora to tell them which leader is good for them. So they voted those people because we are the one that pushed them to vote for these people. We said that Joseph Newman Walker was good for them, Josh Manaway was bad. We said Josh Manaway was good for them, and Zana B. Kumi was bad. So when these people trust us, the people in America, they know too much book, they know exactly what is good. They are in America, they know what good leader is. So when they trust us and vote for these people, and those people are not working to the benefit of the people, then we turn around and say, oh, that leader has no vision. We are the one that have no vision because we are the leader to be voted for. You are the one who put Joseph Newman Walker there. Our parents in Liberia don't know who good leader is, who bad leader is. They rely on you, the educated people in Liberia, America, to send those people to them to elect them. Some of you're still saying Joshua Nima Baka is bad, but you're supporting Josh Malawia. Some of you have PhD degree, but if this Kino Gandhi, you support Kino Gandhi student to be your president. Who can you now say that has no vision? We, the people in diaspora, are the problem that is going in Liberia. Senator Witherspoon had his show. He had his show to a point where Joseph Nima Baka was elected. We are the one telling the people in Liberia who to vote for, who not to vote for. So the question is, if we, the people of the diaspora, have vision for the people of Liberia, we will come up with good leaders that will benefit the people. You see, Alexander Bikumi is one of the most accomplished. Not that army is part that support him, but he's well educated. He has been tested. In this country, you cannot get a job without an experience, right? But why is it that we are supporting people that have no experience, and then when they go in office, they torment the people, they steal, but yet we don't take responsibility. Right now, Guinea has taken a shot for Liberia. You know why? Because our leaders are basically taking $45,000 home instead of putting that money into arming the military, training the military. The budget is $3 million. Why Guinea has $140 million for military? Why is it that we are not getting good leaders to the people like Liberia? They trust us, they believe in us. You see, unless Liberia leaders are elected based on substantive issues, not based on tribe. Because anybody from Nigeria right now, when they run for president, all the Nigeria will vote for that person. Whether he cool, he not cool, they'll just vote for the person. If you're from Nima County, every Nima in the last one will say go vote for that Nima man. We do not sit down and say, I don't care whether that person was Nima. I'm a Nibani. Well, I don't think that person is qualified to be president. I don't think so. We elect people based on feelings and show. And here is George Maloney announcing that he's coming back again. And some of you sitting on that show, you will support him again. Even though every member in his cabinet was sanctioned, including the mayor was sanctioned. You will still go back and tell that people say, John Maloney, good for you. You're going to because we stay in the comfort of this country. We are not going through what those people are going through. We decide for them what kind of leader that to do over there. When that leader is no longer good, we need to take responsibility.
Thank you.
It was not the Liberian people, it was you, the diaspora. You're collaborating, you're taking the Liberian, you're telling the Liberian, the poor Liberian people that let them be president. Now you're taking you're taking responsibility. You're taking all the people, bad people, in front of the Liberian people to vote for them, when they vote for them, and they say, oh, they don't have vision. No, you don't have a vision.
Thank you.
My brother on fire.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Your name and where you calling from? Oh, hold on.
Jimmy Garber calling from Waco, Texas.
Go ahead.
Hey, I just want to say hi to my senior brother over there, Joseph Powell. Oh, how you doing, man? This is the beginning, God.
Hey, Jimmy. Jimmy, how are you?
Yeah. All right, man. Look, guys. Joseph Tao he's my senior brother. We went to high school. Junior high and elementary school together. Like about 3 or 4 classes ahead of me. But this guy been talking some. All this stuff he's talking is not radical. I knew this guy a long time ago, and he and those missionaries from Calvary Mission, they always had it. He's the first person that proposed the same program in our school. And I never heard about that. This is 1985, 86. The dude said it was a waste of time to put the Bible. Bible was like a subject in our school at the same level of science. And he thought it was a waste of time. But anyway, that's why he is. He really believes in that stuff he's talking. All right? I just wanted to say, Tao, I watched a show yesterday with the doctor, and I follow you guys. Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you.
We need to get in contact with each other, Jimmy.
Jimmy, thank you very much. Your name and where you calling from?
I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
Go ahead, Detroit.
Yes. Hey, I want to put that gentleman that called this last call on my back because he is absolutely right of everything he just said, that the diaspora, we are Africa and Liberia #1 problem. Yeah, so true, because we are educated, we came here, God bless us, God give us the blessing to come abroad to learn and go back and help our people. But we come in this America, I'm not going to say everybody, but most of us go back home and support the same bad people. How can you go to Liberia and support Nigeria Magid to be senator for Magid? A profile that was deported, you go support him. You supporting Joe Morgan, 9 you support him. We are educated people, we learn, we earn. Why are we doing that to our country? Like the last caller said, you, Mr. Gaming, you're in Florida, you know how politics work, you know how government works. And you go last year, you defended John Weah. You was supporting people like John Weah. How can you look at these type of people? We are educated in this diaspora. And some of these people, they will say that our country should improve. And one of the main things are holding our country back. We lie. Like Joe Weah said, our leader lie, our president lie, our past president lie. When you have so many liars in the country, it will never improve. So my people, we in the diaspora, we need to figure something or put the best people there support, not because of your personal interest, not because what Joe Weah will do for you, what Cummings, what anybody will do for you. Even because who is Christian who will change this country. Since I was born, LEC has never been stable in our country. Since I was born, water has never been stable in our country. Since I was born, there have been no job for the citizens in our country. So why are we doing it to ourselves, our country? And that's why I love the young lady on the phone. I follow her, what's her name? Her progressive attitude, I love it. You see, guys, got to speak the truth. If we don't speak the truth, the country is going nowhere.
Okay, guys. Give me the truth. Who did you support the last election?
I supported Mr. Cummings.
Okay.
I campaigned for him.
Okay.
I campaigned for him strongly.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Oh, man, the calls are coming in. Guys, listen, look at we touched a nerve here. But guys, this is amazing. I mean, 2 hours is not enough time here for us to do justice to this topic. We got to do it again next week. Sunday, guys. Let's maybe I think 2 hours is enough. We just have to maybe time ourselves to make sure.
Yeah, Mr. Gary, really quickly. Can I?
Yes, go ahead.
Quickly, okay. So, just to go back again, because I think this is very important. Number one, I want to say this again. These people had an aspirational plan, an artificial plan, a synthetic plan. There was no substance to it, right? When you understand technicality, I'm a technologist. If you're of the same background, I think what you're referring to is an implementation plan. The strategy, the strategic outlook and strategic direction was not there. But just for their agriculture, for example, they were supposed to develop 50,000 hectare acres of irrigated lowland rice. They were supposed to then achieve the 70% self-sufficiency, right, in food to reduce the nearly $300 million importation of food every year. That's what those things were supposed to accomplish. They were supposed to have 30% increase in domestic seeds production. They were supposed to cultivate 20,000 hectares. Look, when we just dismissed and said they didn't have a plan, we gave them an easy pass. They put forth an agenda. That agenda is considered some type of plan. These are the metrics that are stipulated in that agenda. We have to hold them accountable to those metrics. If we don't do that and just dismiss that they did not have a plan, and then therefore, that's going to be nothing to hold them to. So it is very important to say, where is the 20,000 hectare acres that you were supposed to be cultivating for cassava? Where is that 50,000 hectare acres that you were supposed to be cultivating for rice to date, which is 2.5 years in their administration? They've only attempted to clear 6,500 hectare acres. The rice planting has not even begun. So all of these things are there. We need to hold them accountable. Look, I want to go back quickly to the government toilet discussion. My organization, Generation Liberia, is an NGO. We have laid out a clear plan that this dry season to build countless government toilets in desperately needed community. The cost of a government toilet is anywhere from $500 to $1,000. $500 to $1,000. And that's what I asked. What is the cost? What sort substantive that the president had to go and dedicate that project for a $500 project, a $1,000 project that I myself, my organization is planning on doing countless amounts of? It's irresponsible. It is very much inorganic. That means this whole operation, once again, is operating in the clouds. They are removed from reality. Look, to the gentleman who said the diaspora is responsible, I do understand some of that point, but it's not to say that we have to constantly influence the people on the ground, because they are going to be the consumers of whichever policies or whoever we support. And that's why I've always used my platform to educate, to make an informed decision. Many people in the diaspora have put forth formidable ideas that have been dismissed. So to sit there and blame them all together is also it's really far-fetched. It's half of the battle. We cannot do that, and we must not do that. To really be able to get to a place where we introduce a level of transformation our people need, we have to roll up our sleeves and get our hands dirty our own selves. Nobody else. No one's going to come rescue Liberia.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Talking about everybody that has expertise in the area. There is no denying that former President George Manuel Weah, in his areas of sports or soccer, became Liberia's best, Cameroon's best, Africa's best, Europe's best, world best. When President Joseph Boakai came to power, he said his expertise was in agriculture. He called himself an agriculturist. So can we say that Liberia, Joseph Boakai's legacy would be Africa's best in agriculture, world best in agriculture? Let me say this to you. 2023, the last number that we have, Liberia imported rice, $212.47 million in rice import. 2025, it had gone up to $242.91 million, an increase over the previous administration, 14.3%. This is what we are talking about. When you come into power and you say, I am an expert in this area and I'm better than the other guy, then the metrics, like you say, have to show what we saw, what we are looking at here. It doesn't jive. Honorable Victor Nambe, we are at the end of our show here. Give us a wrap up and your closing.
Yeah, I gotta go to therapy to rework my mouth because I haven't spoken for so long. I forgot how to talk. But
good.
So that was
speak for your crew, brother. True, yeah. Speak for your crew.
Yeah,
brother,
I know,
too.
right? I mean, there's a conspiracy, but let me borrow from Tawo to that hey buddy who called you and talk about Tawo be doing this and doing that. The only thing I learned from that is that Tawo is a non-believer. That's what I learned from that whole call. So let me just say that.
Non-believer in what?
No, you said you fought against the Bible being introduced in the classroom. So, but
who eat the Bible? The children needed to know science and technology.
All right, my man, you've been talking for the past 5 years. Let me close. So let me welcome Fanta. Thanks for joining us, Fanta. I'm very happy you're here with us. Thanks. I hope you will stay. Talking about the president's agenda, I see my friends are typing in the chat and all of that. Look, didn't the president just relaunch the arrest agenda? I believe. Now take that and just post that on going to dedicate a poo-poo house. This is the development agenda that this government is running with. That's why they're bringing to 2029. Well, where was Kula Fofana when the whole program was being planned? Did he just wake up to realize that the president is now dedicating children's projects? She's going to issue a whole release. Didn't they charge her to pay for that paper that she wrote that statement on? She didn't pay for that paper. You guys are waste. You understand me? But this is I've listened to all of you here collecting making your collective frustration and disappointment with this government, and this is just one of those failures that this government continue to present to us. The president is going to waste time to dedicate a toilet. And what's that whole thing about putting AC in the toilet? Where do you ever see that? They have blower fan to blow the stench out. What are you doing? I saw the guy, cushion, the guy sofa chairs, and I didn't really see people go and lie down in there. I mean, what is it that they're trying to tell us? That is this the arrest civilization? That's the next word they're issuing to us. But I think it's clear our people are very convinced now that this government, it has nothing to offer. And I think they're just grasping. They want to celebrate whatever they call these, whether these are small wins, if we can call it that. But I think they're in a hurry to celebrate. You remember the president in China before he even took off his shoes, they were celebrating, you were bringing in $3 billion. Remember the refinery that was supposed to be coming from China? So they're always in a hurry to celebrate, and in the end, they end up celebrating nothing. So we're ready. 2029 is loading. They should get ready. They're abandoning the cash reloaded, trying to find other platforms because it is not working there. They have no story to tell. This whole government has failed. Unfortunately, our people will suffer for the next 2 years or so, or 3 years. But I think the days are numbered. But it's great being here today. I hope to be with you again next Sunday. Congratulations to the Honorable Musa Hassan Bility over the past. Right now, Musa Hassan Bility qualified to be the most hard-working political leader in the Republic of Liberia. This man was in Fargo last Sunday. Prior to that, he was in Rhode Island, went to Minnesota. Then he was in Fargo, retail politicking, did a consultative meeting, came back. Thursday was in the Bronx. I was in that meeting, another consultative meeting. Yesterday he was in Philadelphia, another town hall and meeting with Liberians. He's on his way to Europe. So I don't know anybody who works hardest because we know we came to the game late and we're going to put in the work that is necessary unto our people. They know us by our name. But thank you very much.
Honorable J. Victor Nambi say, Honorable Musa Bility is the James Brown of Liberian politics, the hardest working man, and I second the motion. Dr. Booty, you're close to wrap it up.
I'm stuttering now because
I know that Musa record is a difficult act to follow. Sorry,
there's a title paying people to call here and talk and praising all night.
Thank you, I got a receipt for the cash that he sent.
There's a number when they say in the diaspora spoiling Liberia, how they spoiling Liberia, so bribing people to come on the show and praise them all day, saying how he started the thing, nothing so people can say anything around. You think we know when somebody's been bribed to come and say good things about you like that? Because we've been sitting on the show with you for 3 years. We hear any of those good things he's been saying. Yeah, they just come here and say, you've been doing this and that. We beg your head, man. No, it's been a great show. I think sometimes
don't forget he called himself Joseph Tawo Pikin.
That's on the president. The big guy won't get a Pikin.
My man, nobody's stupid here.
No, but look, I think there's a game in. Obviously, this is the second time I think we've done this kind of format, and the engagement has been very, very high. So I think it makes sense to try and do this more often so that we can get more engagement. I also believe that we need to be on time. So please try and send Mr. Tao the link early, at least 10-15 minutes before, so that he joins in and we can start on time. I think our biggest problem is we don't start on time. So by the time
I will send it a day ahead. So
that makes sense. For some of us, that's even better. But no, I think my highlight today is meeting Fanta on virtually. Great to have a lady on the show. I know we've tried in the past and we've managed to get one or two ladies on, but for some reason I think Mr. Tao keeps scaring them off or something like that. So Mr. Tao, I owe you today. I owe you. That trip to where Mr. Victor Nangwe hometown again, sir. That trip, once CMC, once CMC cleared that room, when you must have taken that trip, it will be a very long trip because I'll be on your case.
We want that with them. We want that with them.
But yeah, I gotta go by myself.
My great grandfather is from that place.
It's been great. And I look. Unfortunately, next week I'm not gonna be with you guys. I'm at a wedding. Since Liberia, they sent my mom for me, and my first time being best man, so I'm taking it very seriously.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that they will do what.
We accept your excuse, but when I said Jimmy Ismail excuse, Jimmy lied to all. Jimmy Ismail, he's somewhere flipping. You see, got get why he not coming to the show.
But guess what? I went on his post. Get where he's at. He's in Brazil.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Wow,
that's good.
Come on.
Anyway, I hand it back to you, Mr. Gaiman.
Okay, let me go to Mr. Taiwo. Mr. Taiwo, you're closing. Wrap it up.
Yeah. So, my picking Jimmy, thanks for calling. Look, I've been knowing Jimmy. We grew up together. Okay, so we went to the same school, and we just tried to straighten some stuff out that was not going well. So that is what he was saying. But look, this is what I would say. For me, I come to these programs as a person that is not political, because that is one of our problems in Liberia. All this division, everybody wants to like their own crook, and me, I don't want. I refuse to follow that. The caller that called here, and I mentioned this many times. Almost all of the government since Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is formed pretty much in the U.S. You can see the next elections are coming, and you can see it taking shape. All of the guys are crisscrossing. Mr. Nangwe want to mention Musa ability running around here as if that equate to him being qualified to run Liberia. That's the kind of people that will claim that they are qualified. That is our qualification for president of Liberia. That is how it's formed. You see that here? A guy coming, he run around trying to form the next government, just like Ellen did. And the so-called professionals and experts, when they failed, all that they left Liberia was huge salaries and benefits. I was called in that I have many friends that served in this government. Upon him that it was a simple, the government was formed here. The key people in those government that run policies come from the U.S. That caller was right. We are here, we influence how voting go on over there. So we are failing. I keep saying it. Look, you see what my sister is doing. That is what we all doing it in some form. We make contribution. If we have our organization, if we say we are wealthy, if we say we are very technical, we have all these abilities, let's engage Liberia from a private citizen or group perspective. Everybody should not want to be in the government. The people in Liberia who live there should be the one to be the dominant force in that government. What we can do, we have expertise. We learn it, we equip them. Because when things go wrong, they're the one that bear the burden. We jump on the plane, we come back. We can be the dominant force in the government. Experts cannot run a country and they succeed. We are experts. We've seen it in the last 25 years. We go, we occupy all over in the government. We already have salary. The moment we don't have the job, we run back to the U.S. We come and sit on this platform and many other platforms. Experts are here in the U.S. waiting for the next government. And then we have the audacity to be complaining and try to blame the people that they are not making the right choice. We told them the democracy is good. We encourage them to participate. We told them who to actually vote for, generally. And then when they vote, when they fail, we blame them. We can't do that. But look, to just wrap it up, I will say this. You see, this electoral politics is a failed system in its present form. It is corrupt. It is for sale. It is for the highest bidders. The people funding these candidates, the people funding these elections are the people. It doesn't matter who you put there. Whether Cummings is going to be the same outcome. Musa ability does not even have the credibility to me. And he can't even be president in Liberia. He don't even have the support base. That's the
explain that now. Explain that. Explain that now. What do you mean? What do you mean? Explain that.
He doesn't
elaborate.
he don't have the credibility.
Victor, we are close. Victor, you're not talking. You won't let a man talk. I think, my man, you got 1 minute. Taiwo, you got 1 minute. Close. Let's go.
On a technicality, so he has no credibility. He don't even have the support base. Forget about all that, so that he don't. You were coming when you see coming, couldn't make it. You jump behind Musa, and you think that way will get the progressive back into power some kind of way. It's not going to work.
Good. Thank you very much. Let me go to Mr. Tokba. Talk your own.
Well, it's always on a side note when we talk about Liberia that the complexity of the issues can already be solved. And many times politicians just keep living on promises, providing solutions and that they cannot actually achieve. We need an actionable plan for Liberia. We need to diversify resources. We need to empower the people. Because when the people are empowered, they take a better decision. They take a better shape. They lead their own destinations by the laws and by the provisions. When China started in to 30 million people out of poverty, it was what would work for them. It was not what they were talking. It was action. Singapore, they were nowhere around here. Today, it's a hub of all the businesses in the world. Executive offices, corporate offices are there because why? They mean what they do. Japan, Germany, when they started by action. And Liberia and Liberian citizens have traveled throughout the world, have gone back with expertise, have gone back with knowledge. When do we utilize those knowledge to make those who do not have the light to see the light and live the light? So the politician needs to, think well, act well, and make sure that Liberian people, live a fulfilling life. The presidency is not just a positions where you can just grab him today because you want him to make news. It should make new bigger project. We're talking about millions of investment portfolio being signed with all of the T's and I being dotted and crossed. Those things bring celebration to the country. So why do you have a city mayor? Why do you have a citizen? Why do you have a town chief, a village man? Why? Because you give them empowerment. Let them do what they want and what can benefit them. Why do you have companies in our society that do not give back to the community operating? We need a change, a true change that will reflect the lives of the Liberian people, not in the lives of politicians or appointees. What are our representatives? What are they doing to empower their districts, their constituency? We need a change of policy, a change of direction, a change of leadership. With Liberians are tired hearing voices that do not impact them or action that do not stand for them. As it is today, when we talk about Liberia, generally we think it's Monrovia. When we talk about Liberia, we think it's just part of Montserrat County. But when you leave that part of the comfort zone where politicians enjoy and have serene, they enjoy the luxury of resources and taxpayer money that should be used for every one of us. They think that is Liberia. Liberia needs to step beyond Monrovia. The three branches of government need to collaborate, need to do check and balance to make sure that resources are spent for the purpose for which they are being collected. Why you think Liberians find it very hard to pay taxes? Because the impact does not come back to them. But you want to beat on them. You want to jail them to pay taxes. To pay taxes is good. But who does the tax benefit? Is it just those who administer the affairs of state? No. We need to change the way our stakeholders administer the affairs of Liberia. The governing process needs to be changed. And lastly, I will want to agree to some extent that diasporans are the ones contributing to most of the problem. When Ellen came to town, when you down into New Jersey, Trenton, he said, let's raise money to go and unseat the government. There were other Liberians with like mind who felt that was not the right way. They refused. Today, they're breaking. They are the voices in our society who have killed, who have vandalized, who have destroyed the state. yet they cannot make the impact that they said they want to make. So we need to change the way we angle the voices of the Liberian people. The voices must be too many. And until then, we all have to collaborate. We all have to hold them to a higher account and let our justice system, our judicial system be very effective, be functional. That the law cannot just be a law in paper, but in action. Whoever is being alleged, evidences have been produced, we must face the full weight of the law. That's the only way people are going to change their mind and make sure that government is respected. It's not where you go and grab and leave. Thank you.
Great. Ladies and gentlemen, like we said before, I have been working on the platform for the past 5 years. Finally, it has come to fruition. Next month, I am going to be launching the platform called the Liberian Diplomat. The Liberian Diplomat is a platform that will profile and project a lot of stuff outside of Liberia. It's not just going to be Liberian politics. We are going to be looking at foreign policy. We are going to be looking at public policy. If you are a serious Liberian politician and you wanted to get in touch with policymakers around the world, our platform will be able to do that connection. We are going to be looking at waste management from the highest level. You're going to find out who are these people: architects, designers, implementers. You want to talk to people in Washington, D.C. We will be the gap between you and that person. It's not only going to be just Liberian politics, but we are going to bring something new. If you wanted to talk to law enforcement, you wanted to talk to public policy, serial policy people, you want to talk to academia, you want to talk to people from Harvard or Columbia, you wanted to hold a major event at these different universities, you wanted to host an event at these different universities, we would be able to do that through the Liberian or African Diplomat. We have people all over the place that will be coming to bring these things. We'll have some celebrities, we'll have some controversial folks. I was talking to Dr. Cornel West, and he has a lot of great ideas about how to bring forth issues about the Liberian or the African diplomat. So we are working on that. We are hoping that by next month, either the first or the second week, we will debut the diplomat. We will show you about tourism, how tourism works, what it entails, who are the major players when it comes to tourism around the world. Those are the things that the diplomat is going to be doing. And we may not have too many of our folks doing panel discussion. We're going to be doing that as an academic. So those are the things we are working on, and we are glad that platform as Focus on Liberia and the likes of similar platforms will be having a different angle, different take on what we can do to contribute towards Liberia outside of just the politics. So we will be calling on some of you with your expertise to come on and opine, maybe do crossfire, debate other folks with different ideas on the same topic. But ladies and gentlemen, it has been nice tuning in to the event. Yes, we will take more calls. We will not just be the talking heads. We'll let you have your say-so when you come on this platform. Let's do it again next week, same time, same place.
Hunter didn't close them.
Oh, I thought you took the longest to close. Go ahead.
No, she didn't.
Okay, close again, reclose.
See, already have established an ally. Thank you, Mr.
There you go. Go ahead, close, so then Fanda can go 1 minute. Go do your 1 minute closing, so Fanda can do 1 minute, and then we'll go from there. Go ahead.
I will try to be brief.
No, Fanda, I'll let you to close. I'll let you to take us home. So
No, I already closed. I said Fanda didn't close.
Oh, I thought you said you.
No,
okay,
no,
Fanda, go ahead, because I know I began with her. Go ahead, Fanda, take your time. You the queen here, you the queen bee. Take all the time you want.
Thank you, Mr. Tao. Thank you. Look, I've always been a solution architect. I've always been very solution driven. And I think in my plight, in my effort, my advocacy to continue to amplify the voices of Liberians and amplify the voices of the people who are impoverished and marginalized. It's not enough to just stay in the advocacy space. It's really important to continue to show them how to get to a point of empowerment, to get to a point of really being able to engage and interact. And to do that, we have to understand how does Liberia needs to change, right? Because if you don't know, if you don't have sort of a roadmap, if you don't have a lighthouse, right, it's like you're flying blind. We really need to understand that our country is very much focused on, say, the extractive sector. Like right now, is very much, it lacks the institutional integrity. So all of those things like needs to come back. We need to really think about entities and efforts that can create some type of a structural diversification, right? Move away from just the status quo that we know today into really diversifying how we generate revenue for the entire country so that everyone can benefit. For such a small country of less than 6 million. Everyone, there's no reason why everyone in Liberia should not be millionaires with the type of resources that we have, having recently discovered minerals like neodymium and cobalt and uranium. We know that companies like B Mountain alone takes $3 billion out of Grand Cape Mount alone. So the resources are there, really understanding how to make it work for the people and understanding their rights to those resources. It's a point of empowerment that can definitely be leveraged. Look, what we have currently as a form of government, this whole democracy is borrowed. It doesn't work for Africa. It doesn't work for Liberia, because we know that the electoral process is coerced. It is ran by influential people who want to achieve a certain agenda. And then so they influence the local people in that direction, making them think that they have a say, when then they have real grievances and come to the people whom they have elected, they get no ears at all. In fact, the windshield of those people go up, their fences gets taller, their belly gets bigger, while the problems of the people persist. It's really important that we start to think about moving away from the system. It's not working for us. Look, I've always preached, and some consider it to be very much out there, but I think we need something drastic. Perhaps Liberia needs a dictator, a sensible dictator, a good dictator, a moral dictator. Since our people struggle with so many influences, so many noise in their ears, we need someone who has the moral grounding, who has Liberia at heart, who can truly put Liberia first to say, like, you know what, I'm going to take the mantle and I'm going to do this for Liberia. Perhaps that's what we need. Perhaps that is what we need. We need to seriously start thinking about that. We need a collective of coherent individuals who are truly serious about joining hands in the transformation that we can all be proud of. It's not enough to just sit back and say, I'm going to lend my expertise. You have to be able to roll up your sleeve and say, you know what? I have been giving my expertise for decades. This is our third administration post-war. I'm sure all of us at some point have provided input into those administrations to say, hey, this is the direction that you can take. And we've seen how it's turned out, right? They have dismissed it because they want to be gatekeepers. We have to take that power back, right? And run for office. Be the leaders, be the change that we want to see. We clearly do not trust the people who were given that mentor to. We need to take it back from them as a people. We are Liberians first and foremost. We ought to be more citizens and not be removed from our problem or the solutions. Because if you continue to consult someone on a solution and they're not taking it, that means that you yourself needs to take it from them, or you show them how to do it by getting your hands dirty. So we should not be discouraged by getting into the field and running for office. Clearly, something's not working. We need to do things differently. And I think starting really with a collective of a few individuals who have some sense and who knows how to get things done is going to take this change and transformation that we're all propagating a very long way. Look, if you're from Maryland and you're a sensible individual, run for office, right? Let's kick out that senator. Let's kick out that representative who's sitting there, who's not serving the people. If you're from Grand Judah, do the same thing. Don't say, oh, I'm young, or I don't have the money. God is going to provide. And that's another thing. We have been removed as a nation from God. We have engaged in devil worshiping. We are molesting and sodomizing boys. We are ripping young girls. We are doing the most demonic and deviant things that a civilized people should never even think of. This is what we have become. We have to tell ourselves the truth and turn back to God, as my Nancy said, right? I'm sorry if I got her name wrong. We truly have removed ourselves from the worship of the one true maker and turned to devil worshiping, which is why no matter how much we try to climb up that mountain, we'll never get there. So if we can just implement these basic things, that's what I've chose to do. So I'm hoping that there's a collective of people out there where we can all come together and truly take Liberia as our own, not something that is over there that we need to manage from afar. It's not going to work. So I thank you all for being here today. It's been great meeting everyone and joining the team. And yeah, that's going to be my closing. Liberia first, Liberia always. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard it. When you hear the word or the phrase uncensored, cannot be bought because she's not for sale. She has no value. So you can say $10 or this, something that has no value in the sense that you can buy it. She says it as she says it, whether you like it or not. It is the fact. If you want to debunk what she's saying, go back from 1822. It's 204 years. And we still dedicated pit toilet. And if you want to say she's lying, just compare 204 years to where you are now and see whether 204 years of pit toilet is something.
Come on and debate me. I'm open to debating anyone. Come on and debate me.
Fanta 101, wherever you are, we will provide a platform. Mano y mano, woman to woman, man to man. Thank you very much for tuning in. As usual, whether you agree with us or disagree with us, we are all Liberians.